one is going to be a goblet squat. You're going to take a medium to heavyweight dumbbell. Feet are going to be facing straight forward. We're just going to sit back into that squat. The dumbbell is nice and close to my chest. Sitting back in that squat, heavy in those heels, like if you're sitting back in an imaginary chair, and that is the goblet squat. The next exercise in our circuit is the deadlift. So we're just going to grab 2 medium weight dumbbells, and we're going to go into that Romanian deadlift. So shoulders are rolled back and down, slight bend in those knees. Dumbbells are going to stay nice and close to my body. I'm going to hinge at the hip here, bringing those dumbbells down, and then coming back up, squeezing the glutes at the top. We want to be careful not to push our hips forward when we squeeze at the top. So again, bring it down, coming up, squeeze, nice and straight. And that is our Romanian deadlift or our RDL. Also making sure your back is nice and flat on that exercise. The next one is a step up. So you can use a step, a box, you can use dumbbells or no dumbbells, whatever you're more comfortable with. All we're going to do is alternate right and left, making sure our entire foot is on the step for the entire exercise on the top phase of that exercise. So you put your hands on your hips if you're not using weight. You're just going to come up and then right back down, alternating sides, coming up with that left foot and then right back down, and then alternating back to that step up. Again, you can use dumbbells, make it a little bit more resistance there. 2 medium weight dumbbells, 2 heavyweight dumbbells, whatever you're comfortable with. You would just leave those right here next to your hips. The next exercise is a push-up. So you have a couple of different options here. We can bring it down to the mat. We can drop our knees to the ground. Hands will be directly below my shoulders here. I'm going to make sure we're not putting extra tension on our shoulders. We're just going to lower our chest down, not touching the mat, and then coming back up. So that would be a modified push-up. Otherwise, you would go up into that full plank position. Keep your body nice and straight. Your booty's nice and aligned with everything else. And you're just going to bring it down and then right back up. Another option is a hand release push-up. So you're just going to bring it down. You're going to bring those hands up off the ground. And then in one motion, you're going to push your body up into that plank position. So that's your push-up. The next one in our series is a bent over row. So you're just going to take 2 medium weight dumbbells. You're going to stand hip width apart. Feet are facing forward. You're going to have your shoulders are going to be rolled back and down, not holding any tension there. Slight bend in those knees so they stay soft. You're going to hinge at the hip, making sure your back stays nice and flat. And you're just going to pull those dumbbells straight back towards your pockets. If you had pockets on your shorts or your leggings or pants, this is that direction that we're headed, making sure our back stays nice and flat. The next exercise is a plank. So a couple of different options here. You can go into a high plank or just on your elbows. The elbow plank is definitely a little bit more challenging. So the high plank, hand is directly below my shoulders. My body is in line. My booty is nice and low. I'm looking straight down to my mat to make sure that my spine stays nice and neutral. Option here is just drop it down to those elbows. Again, elbows will be directly below your shoulders, making sure your body is nice and aligned and you're looking straight down at your mat. The next one is a side plank. So same concept. We're going to be on our side. We usually will do it right and a left. So elbow will be directly below your shoulder. Your body is nice and straight, nice and aligned. One way to do it would be to keep that bottom leg bent. Bring out your top leg here, nice and straight, and just pull those hips up off the ground so that we are nice and aligned here. We don't want that hip sagging in this side plank. You can bring your arm up here for that nice stretch. Hold that plank in this position. We can also add a dumbbell. Sometimes we will do a plank reach with pull through. You're just going to take that dumbbell, bring it in, or underneath you, and then bring it back up. But we always start in this very, original plank position. To make it a little bit more challenging, you're going to bring both feet together. Legs will be nice and straight. And again, you're just going to lift that hip up off the ground.